So in less than 5 hours from now, there could very well be a major upgrade when it comes to Cardano that's actually going to happen. It's actually going to come into fruition. I'm literally not joking. Take a look at the Van Rossum hard fork. It's supposed to happen quite soon, in less than 5 hours from now, allegedly. Now, it might have already happened by the time I upload this video. I just want to preface that, and of course, depending on when you watch this, because it's going to take time for me to edit and process this video and all that. But I'm just saying, the core sort of message is still the same. The Van Rossum hard fork is supposed to happen quite soon, hours from now, basically. Now, nothing I say is financial advice, and I'm not telling anyone to do anything, but actually, it's specifically supposed to happen at 2100 hours, 44 minutes, and 51 seconds UTC. So it's basically 9 p.m., 44 minutes, and 51 seconds. But besides that point, why could this matter so much? People like to say, well, take a look at ADA. If this is so anticipated, why is it down around 1% in the past 24 hours? Well, this goes far beyond this in terms of beyond a 24-hour price movement, because this could improve Cardano a lot fundamentally. And I've actually, taken a look at some key notes as to what this could improve. Now, if I just kind of want to simple it down, basically, this is going to improve the security when it comes to Cardano. Now, people like to say, well, isn't Cardano already secure before? Who cares about this? Well, it's going to make it better, allegedly. And if something becomes better, why would I complain about that? It's not something I would complain about. Not to mention as well, it's allegedly going to bring cheaper and better smart contracts. Now, of course, this is going to matter a lot to developers. So it's pretty fantastic. Now, also on top of that, we take a look at the overall network is going to be more polished. And actually, this sets a quite impressive precedent when it comes to the Van Rossum hard fork. The reason why I say that is because this is supposedly, right, the first ever hard fork to be fully driven by on-chain governance in terms of the Voltaire era. Now, why does this even matter? Well, it's because this showcases the decentralized nature when it comes to Cardano. Now, people like to say, well, it doesn't really matter. Well, again, the key point for a lot of projects within this space is to have an aspect of decentralization. So if anything, this kind of further, amplifies that message when it comes to Cardano, which I think is pretty impressive. Again, this sets a pretty amazing thing, actually, because this, again, marks the first ever time where a hard fork fully was driven by on-chain governance when it comes to the Voltaire era. Again, stuff like this showcases that a project doesn't really need a founder kind of, controlling all the aspects and all this. Sometimes that's not necessarily the case. I know back then, not that long ago, I'm just saying, not too long ago when Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, who also happens to be the co-founder of Ethereum, but remember back then when he said that, he doesn't have much control over Cardano, a lot of people were kind of like, I guess, so disappointed. A lot of people left Cardano because of that, which doesn't make any sense to me, because wouldn't people want a project to be decentralized? So the founder literally admitting he doesn't have much control basically clarifies that it is quite decentralized. But yeah, besides that point, stuff like this, like the Van Rossum hard fork, it further emphasizes its decentralized sort of vibes, I should say. And again, we're kind of seeing it, and it's quite close. Now, will it immediately affect Cardano in such a fantastic way? Will it suddenly have, 50,000 developers randomly entering Cardano because of the Van Rossum hard fork finally coming into fruition? No, that's not going to happen. I mean, the market, first of all, isn't doing the best. A lot of developers are leaving. They're not entering as of right now. So if anything, the Van Rossum hard fork is meant for the long term. It's like, for instance, let's say a restaurant. Let's say they update the interior. Is it automatically going to make the food taste better? No. How does that make sense? Maybe it might increase the ambiance and stuff like this and the vibe overall. But that type of stuff is going to work for it for the long term, right? Because more guests come in, more customers come in when it comes to this restaurant. They see the vibe, they like it, they post pictures on Instagram or whatever, and then a lot more people enter. Again, the effects are more long term. It's kind of like a restaurant, again, renovating the interior. It's a little bit no different here when it comes to the Van Rossum hard fork. I view it kind of as a renovation of sorts. It's not really that, but I think you get what I mean, right, from the restaurant analogy that I used before. So when it comes to this, it may not seem like a big deal, but I think it matters a lot, especially if I consider what this could impact moving forward, in a sense where the Van Rossum hard fork, it's just kind of one of the first steps. The reason why I say this is because this upgrade is allegedly going to allow for an even larger upgrade moving forward which could very well bring Laos into fruition. Now, people like to say, okay, what is Laos? Who cares about that? Well, not too long ago, remember when the Laos testnet happened? Now, we don't see the mainnet as of right now, but the Van Rossum hard fork is going to help allow for the Laos mainnet to happen moving forward. Allegedly, it's going to lay down the groundwork, kind of laying down the foundation, so to speak. The reason why Laos is so important here is because, even though I already mentioned this before, Laos is going to bring tremendous scalability when it comes to Cardano. The reason why this matters is because that is literally a main criteria in which a lot of people want to see for a layer 1 blockchain to be considered good. So if we take a look at it, for instance, people, when they take a look at a layer 1 blockchain, usually they want something that's fast, scalable, and as well as being low in gas fees. Now, when we take a look at Cardano, we already see it being quite low in gas fees, right? We already see it being quite fast, but in terms of scalability, I mean, it's already quite impressive. But if Laos could improve it further, why is that a bad thing? If anything, it's only going to help Cardano. It's going to attract more developers, more enterprises, maybe, hypothetically, and also on top of that, it's going to allow for a better layer 1 blockchain overall. So if we take a look at the Van Rossum hard fork, it may seem kind of trivial, it may seem kind of irrelevant as of right now, but it could set Cardano moving forward for even larger upgrades to happen. So this is not a bad thing. People like to say, well, if it doesn't move the price charts, that means it's bad when it comes to Cardano. But I don't agree with that, especially in this case. In other cases, maybe it's a little bit different, but specifically when it comes to this case, I do believe that this upgrade isn't necessarily a flop if, let's say, ADA, in terms of the price, doesn't move. No, I don't think about it that way. I think, if anything, this is going to be, you know, something that starts turning the wheel a little bit, right? Because it's going to allow for an even bigger upgrade, going to allow for something like Laos to happen in terms of the mainnet. It may seem, again, kind of irrelevant, this thing, but I think that it could have such profound impacts, maybe hypothetically, for Cardano moving forward. So yes, when it comes to ADA, it's around 6 times lower than $1. I mean, $1 wasn't even that good anyways when it comes to ADA. We saw it last year, though, but I'm saying it wasn't even that good. I get it, it's low. But me obsessing over that, what is that going to do? I can't change the price charts. I can't make it move. But on the flip side, what I want to focus on, what I want to actually put my energy towards, is seeing the upgrades, the updates, what's going on when it comes to Cardano. That's what I'd rather focus on, because the intent of this video anyways isn't to pull up a price chart and draw some random triangles. My kind of intent is to basically showcase how I am taking a look at this Van Rossum hard fork and how I think it could hypothetically affect Cardano moving forward, fundamentally speaking. That's pretty much about it. I'm totally aware that ADA, its all-time high is around $3. We saw around $1 last year at some points. We're around 16 cents as of right now. We're down quite low. But at the same time, Cardano, it seems like it keeps on improving. So how can I say that it's broken? Because I don't think it is. I mean, imagine if there was no such thing as the Van Rossum hard fork and all this, then okay, yeah. It's kind of bad, right? But at least there's this going on. At least it's something to keep me entertained, I suppose. And then also recently, Cardano had a partnership with the Brazilian Olympic Committee, and that had an aspect of AI, so that was pretty awesome. So in 2026, they're still doing things. It's not like they're not doing anything. And keep in mind, remember not too long ago when the CEO of the Cardano Foundation spoke at a conference in Hamburg, Germany? That was pretty impressive too. So again, they're still doing things behind the scenes, it seems like. And again, the Van Rossum hard fork, supposedly, it's going to come into fruition, right? It's actually going to literally happen in hours from right now. But again, I just want to clarify, it might happen already by the time I upload this video. It might have already happened, basically. But again, the core message is still the same. I'm just talking about the Van Rossum hard fork. It's supposedly going to happen. But actually, if I upload this video and it hasn't happened yet, again, they say it's going to happen at 9:44 p.m. and 51 seconds UTC, allegedly, from what I can see. However, I'll be sure to make more updates moving forward. So hopefully, y'all stay tuned for that.